Hello, lovely. It's a early start this morning for us. I've just gone 7 o'clock. I'm out all day, so I needed to do this today because I'm not quite sure if there'll be an opportunity later on. I'm running a workshop today, so a full day workshop. So that's me out for most of it, and then going straight onto a concert, which is not something I do that often during the week. So excellent day all round. So today we're looking at day 3 of exploring James Clear's Atomic Habits on my baby blue Kindle. And we talked the last couple of days, which you might want to go back and watch if you haven't already, about how we need to be more process focused than goal focused, because we don't achieve our goals very often. In terms of, they're usually quite big goals, and maybe once every few months or every few years we manage to achieve a goal. That's a long time to wait for happiness. So we need to get excited about the processes instead. Because that's something that we can do every day, and we can feel satisfied every day when we do that. So I'm up to chapter 2 of the book now, and the book is talking about 3 layers of behavioural change, processes being one of them, but that's kind of the middle layer. The first layer that people think of usually is outcomes. So, what you'll get, which is kind of like the goal, right? So the outcome might be to run a marathon. The layer beneath is processes. So what are the things you have to do to run a marathon? You might have to go to training 3 times a week. You have to sign up to the to fill in the forms. You might need to raise some money. All of those things, all part of the processes. But that's the second thing that you should be thinking about. The first thing that you should be thinking about is the identity, which is what you believe. So outcomes is what you get, processes is what you do, identity is what you believe. And this is the deepest level. And to truly adopt a new habit, you probably need to look at your beliefs, your self-image, your worldview, whatever that is that's tied up with your identity. Because if I decide I want to run a marathon, then the first step really is for me to adopt the identity of a marathon runner. Because if I adopt the identity which I currently have, is that I am not a runner and I could never run a marathon, how on earth am I going to keep doing all the processes and all the habits that I need to do to get me to the point of running a marathon? I have to believe I am a marathon runner. I know, seems harder than you think if you've definitely not got down that path before. So once I guess from a practical sense, you need to decide on what that identity is you want to have. I am the person who I'm a marathon runner. So if I'm a marathon runner, what are the kinds of things? What would you need to decide? What are the things a person with that identity would do? So what would a marathon runner do? And that's where you would start coming up with the processes. Well, as a marathon runner, I might hang out with some other marathon runners, so I feel inspired. I might go to park run every Saturday. I might do another 2 runs during the week. I might also do a strength training program. I might start looking at my nutrition. They're all the things that a marathon runner will do. So therefore, I need to do those things to be a marathon runner. I know it sounds like maybe feels like it's taking a step too far, but it really can work. If you think about the fact that you're saying every day, oh my goodness, I'm a person who hates running, then the chances of you being a marathon runner are really, really rare. But what happens is you need some sort of, from a practical sense, we're going to decide what it is that, decide what you want to have, and then decide who that person would be. So let's say you decide you want to be really good at public speaking. So you want to be able to do public speaking. So therefore, you've got to think, okay, how would you describe that person? That person is, I am a person who has things to say, and I speak confidently in front of people. I'm that person. So then you think, okay, well, what would a person with that identity do? Well, they might go and get some training just to make sure that they've got all the latest techniques on speaking. They might hire a speaking coach. They might do all the preparation they need to do speaking. See if you can find some small wins that are easy enough for you to do. So maybe you decide, every morning I'm going to get up and do some voice exercises because I want to be a really good public speaker. That's a pretty small win. You can do that. You can go on the internet, you can find some good voice exercises, you can spend 10, 15 minutes every morning doing that. And then what happens is that becomes evidence for your brain that you are a public speaker because you're doing the things a public speaker would do. So you need to kind of prove it to yourself that you are a public speaker. You could also do it by writing affirmations. If you're a person who likes writing affirmations, I am an excellent public speaker. I have things to say. People want to listen to me. All of those things. Or if you're into tapping, you could use EFT tapping and to do that as well. Even though I'm nervous about public speaking, I am a public speaker. You can find out more about EFT tapping on the internet. There's also apps around that as well. So gradually the evidence starts mounting up. They're like votes on your identity, and the story you tell yourself begins to change. So what does that mean for us? We need to think about focusing not on getting a particular outcome, but focusing on becoming that person. This is what James Clear tells us in chapter 2 of Atomic Habits. So have a think about a habit that you might be trying to put in at the moment, and think about the story you're telling yourself about that. Are you using lots of old beliefs into your, you're allowing those old beliefs to run into your brain without counteracting them with a new belief and finding practical ways to put that new belief into practice? Affirmations, tapping, and then small wins that you can do that person would do. And you've got a much better chance of making that habit stick. Have a fabulous day today, and we'll talk more about atomic habits tomorrow.